Hi there, Rijo. Nice job writing these essays for your IELTS preparation. It's so important to get professional feedback on your writing because after a certain point, it's really the only and certainly the best way to improve your writing. So let's get straight into your corrections, see what you have written for us. Okay, task 1, it's the bar chart for pet owners. And you wrote the following. The bar chart gives and information about the figures of pet ownership by World Pet Organization from 1990 to 1998 among 6 different countries. Okay, first of all, information is always uncountable, so it's never never put an article in front of it. It should just be the bar chart gives information about the figures. Okay. From the graph, we could see that all the countries were negatively correlated to each other with regards to the number of ownership. Okay, to be totally honest with you, I don't know what you mean that they were negatively correlated to each other. It's just not entirely clear. All right, moving on. Regarding Wales, it starts from 0 and reached approximately the biggest number, which was marked as same in the year 1991 and 1992. Okay, so basically there are a few problems with this sentence because the figure for Wales never started at 0. Even from the beginning of the period, it was, I think from what I saw, about 100,000. Okay, so maybe this will help. So if you look at the figure for Wales, it starts in 1990 at about 100,000, okay? And then it increases over the years, and then it drops back to that original level in 1995, and then it increases again, but then decreases, okay? So at the end of the period, it's around maybe like 120,000. So just doing this to help you understand how to read these types of bar charts. Okay, and there's also some problems with the grammar in that sentence. You can't say which was marked as same in the year. It's just confusing, so the grammar needs to be cleaned up there. Okay, Canada has got a deep fluctuation in the number of pet owners ranging from nearly 10,000 to a maximum of just over 30,000 in the year 1997. Okay, what I would like you to do is to look again at the figures because your figures are a little inaccurate. And this is a little inaccurate as well, has got a deep fluctuation. You could say that Canada showed some fluctuation. Remember, this is all past tense here, so it's probably best to use a past tense, showed the fluctuation. Okay, coming to the next, no comma here. So coming to all right, moving on to other countries, namely America, Ireland, Scotland, and England. The numbers of ownership fluctuated a lot throughout the mentioned years. America started here, okay, because remember it's in the past, from just below 30,000 and marked the highest of above 45,000 in 1994 and remained almost stable towards the end of 1998 with a small dip in 1997. Okay, I would have probably described the American trend a little different. I saw that it had actually quite a bit of fluctuation, and I don't think that what happened in 1997 was a small dip. I think it was a considerable decrease in the number of pet owners. Because it's actually 1997 is actually one of the smallest figures for the U.S. All right, but moving along, Ireland remained almost the same during the period with a small fluctuation in its figures. Okay, in contrast, careful with your typing here. There should be 2 different words and there should be a comma. Scotland and England showed a remarkable value with 80,000 and above 1 million respectively. Okay, there's some inaccuracy with these figures here. Scotland and England, I mean, those just aren't the figures for those 2 countries. So please do look at them again. And also it would be helpful if you talked about the beginning values, their ending values, and any sort of major change that occurred throughout the period. Okay? All right, so overall it could be seen that, no comma there, figures of pet ownerships of all the countries, varied accordingly, and it seems to point out its correlationship with the number of ownership. This isn't clear. I would revise this, okay? Alrighty. I think there's definitely some misunderstanding of the task. So do look at the model sample, look at the sample essay for this, a sample response. I think it will help you understand it. I always find these bar charts rather confusing myself, so it's totally understandable. But let's now move on to your second essay. Worldwide trade and business is a common phenomenon in the era of globalization. It is now a matter of controversy. Okay, there's a spelling mistake here. So that we tend to analyze its positives and drawbacks. This essay will discuss the points of arguments in detail. Okay, now let's see, worldwide trade and business. I assume you think that this is one thing, which is why you're using is. Okay, fine. Let's see, critics who are, you don't need a comma here. Critics who argue against global marketing, no the, are of the view, no on but of, that, no comma, these kinds of outsourcing would eventually destroy the lifestyle of the region where it exposed. Okay, grammatically this is incorrect. Would eventually destroy the lifestyle of the region of exposure, I guess. I think this is what you mean. This means that the influence of materialistic culture in terms of products in the market and also the behavioral change it impacts when people try to imitate it. All right, there's something missing here. I'm trying to reread it again. So this means that there would be an influence of materialistic culture in terms of products in the market, and also a behavioral change would occur when people try to imitate it. Okay, I think it makes a little more sense, but as you can see, there's clearly something missing in order to make this sentence clear. For instance, we could see that the McDonald's and KFC, all right, no the here, that McDonald's, this should be capitalized and spelled correctly. So, for instance, we could see that McDonald's and KFC now become the part and parcel of Oriental culture. Okay. This reveals into a clear picture about what a big deal it has on the global economy. All right, this is incorrect here. Reveals into a clear picture. It needs to be revised, okay? Let's see. Then, on the other hand, the supporters of international trade, no comma here, please, think that it helps in sustainable growth in terms of improving profit, exchanging ideas globally, and thus, in turn, removing the language barriers. Okay. All right, moving on. This is explained in a way that it could open a world of opportunities in the field of employment, higher studies, and even induce a progressive thinking. All right, I would not have an A here. Progressive thinking is something abstract, so you don't need to put an article in front of it. The global village, you do need an article, however, here. The global village is truly, careful with your spelling, an example of this. And also English, this should be capitalized, has become, not became, has become because it shows, that it's relevant in the present as well, has become a lingua franca, for instance, not as an instance, for instance. So all these have, plural, given the factual information that international marketing in one way or another, I think that's what you want to say, in one way or another. Let's try this again. So all these have given the factual information that international marketing in one way or another is a positive development without the it here. Okay. Finally, it seems to conclude that marketing, no comma there, marketing is a business tactic and the worldwide spread of it perhaps changed the face of our world into a global market, uniting the people into one word, one universe. Pick one, either A or one, but not both. All right. Okay, so there are some grammatical problems here. There are some places where your essay lacks clarity. However, you do have some nice ideas. The structure is more or less appropriate. A lot of the vocabulary is quite nice. So what you really need to work on now is improving some of these areas of grammar that create lack of coherence. Okay? So what I would advise is to continue writing, continue getting feedback from an IELTS tutor, because that's really the best way to help you improve, to make sure that your writing is clear, to make sure that it is accurate. So keep on writing. I really hope to see more essays from you, because I'm sure that with continued support and feedback, your writing will improve and you will get the score that you want.